Hi, everyone. So, this message is going to be for anyone who feels like they've had so much pain from their past or so much wrongdoing in their past that it feels like your past is holding you back. So, I'm going to do oh, look at that. There's a Three of Swords on the bottom. So, I'm going to do a 7 card spread to try to see perhaps why this happened to you, what justice could be coming in, who can help you, how you can move forward, how you can help others, and then perhaps what your future energy looks like. So I'm going to start by laying down 7 tarot cards. And then in each of these 7 positions, I'm going to put a prism oracle card. And then finally, we'll do an archetype card for each of these positions. And then we're really going to get into the energies that would like to speak up today and about your situation, this pain that seems to keep you stuck or seems to keep you paralyzed from moving forward in your life. So maybe things that happened to you in your past, relationships, jobs, creative endeavors, things that you feel like perhaps have failed and now you don't know which direction to go in. I would like to say before we really get into this, though, that failure is such an important part of our character building and a part of our growth. So that's for someone. But let's start. So this is the position of, can you get justice for whatever this was that happened to you? So wow, so there's the devil. We're going to flip that over, though. It's an interesting way to start. Cleanse and the storm. So what I get from this, so the devil is saying that you are certainly dealing with someone who is very inauthentic and someone who caused a lot of chaos in your life. And with the storm card, I feel like they not only caused a lot of chaos, but they also were able to show you what you don't want in life. I love that we're getting the cleanse card with the devil, because that really tells me that you have been able to really use your throat chakra and your third eye to really understand very clearly with this. This storm card has this, what looks like a bolt of lightning grounding here, that even though there's all this chaos, you can still see very clearly something. It's like that epiphany that hit when you're dealing with these people that are so incredibly toxic and harmful to you. Or if this wasn't a person, maybe this was an addiction, or maybe this was a situation, or maybe this was some event that happened to you. Make that part make sense for you, but something happened because of that particular thing or person that really caused you to see exactly what you don't want in your life. And that was what you needed, perhaps, to cleanse yourself of that energy. So it feels like this person is showing up, or this situation is showing up as the devil. So I can presume from that person situation is going to get their karmic justice, because they, just by the sheer fact that they showed up as the devil, because the devil is the very place where we need healing. But I can see with cleanse that you have done that. You've done your healing. You had the epiphany. You released the devil. And that's that's probably the hardest thing we have to do as humans in our spiritual growth, is releasing ourselves from the devil, whatever that means for us as individuals. But I can see that you have done that. This cleanse means that you have stepped into your authentic self. You can be yourself. That is your justice. Your uniqueness came out of this. Your individuality, that everything that you were pretending to be or thought you were with this situation, this person, this job, this addiction, whatever that is for you, it feels like now you can be your true authentic self. You've wriggled free of that. You've cleansed yourself of that. You had the epiphanies, and now you can be you. And that is your justice. So let's see about what you have already achieved, what you've already done, how you've already grown. So there's the 10 of Cups, faith, and the self. Wow. That's a really beautiful combination. So the 10 of Cups is often a card of family for me. So you may have a big, beautiful family surrounding you. You could have just a huge support system. There could just be another person that really supports you, that you love deeply. You love with a 10 of Cups kind of energy. But this could also be the love you have for yourself, because we do have the self card here, and all of these aspects of yourself are integrating. And I was getting that with this cleanse card, that you have already healed yourself, that whatever this was that you suffered from in the past, you've already done a great amount of healing. You've done a great amount of alignment. All of these colors together tell me that your chakras have really aligned. And with the Faith card, this to me is the crown chakra card of this deck, but you have put your full faith in the universe, and that is exactly how we know that you have done your healing. So you've already done a great amount of healing. You have a great amount of love in your heart. Your chakras are aligned. Your crown chakra is open. You've integrated the yin and the yang sides of yourself. This just feels like you really have done so much work. So I'm curious to see why you still feel stuck. So let's look at how you can express yourself, maybe in a loving way or a creative way. So there's the Four of Wands, energy, and the shadow. So energy and the shadow are really telling me that this is a transformation of the shadow side. So if you understand shadow energy, if you understand shadow work, the shadow are the parts of ourselves that we repressed at sometimes a very young age, although it can happen at really any time in our life. If there's trauma or certain events that trigger us to repress things. But this is very clearly about, so when you do shadow work, so here's a random example. If you were told as a child that you talk too much, then you may have closed your throat chakra and maybe you don't talk. Maybe you don't speak up because you've repressed that side of yourself thinking that that's bad. So the shadow side of yourself is not a bad side of yourself. It is a part of yourself that you think is bad, that you deemed bad, that you shoved into the corner or into the closet because you were told to. So this energy is really telling me that you are transforming that shadow aspect of yourself. So whatever this was you released yourself from, it's because you realized that that was your shadow side talking and not the authentic side of you talking. And this energy, this is really that creative energy. And that's what we're talking about. The wands are about creativity too. The Four of Wands is Venus in Aries. And this is a very creative, celebratory, very happy kind of card. So I do think that there is some part of you that might still be stuck in your shadow, that you might still be repressing some creative energy that needs to be shown, that you're not. But it feels to me like whatever that is would make you extraordinarily happy. But that may be where you're stuck. So for example, to use the example of you talk too much, perhaps you've always wanted to write a novel, but you can't get the words out because you've closed your throat chakra and you've told yourself, well, I'm not allowed to talk. So how on earth am I going to write? Because it all comes from your throat chakra. So that's an example. So make that part make sense for you. But it feels like you're stuck in, some part of you is still stuck in a shadow because we had the shadow card show up. So I think that there is something here that needs to be transformed. And the advice that I would give you in the sense of writing a book, to use that example, so please apply that to you and your situation, is just to start writing. Write the first page, write the first word, write a scene, write a sentence. It doesn't matter. Get started, because that's how you can, with this energy card, that's how you can really create and transform and start to really nudge this shadow side of yourself from out of the corners or out of the closet. So then let's look at how you can move forward. So there's the Nine of Cups, Sweetness, and Kairos. So this is a couple of things. The Nine of Cups and Sweetness are telling me to really just focus on what your heart wants. This Sweetness card is really making me think of the heart chakra. It's the color pink. There's a heart in it. This is about you. This is about loving yourself, because the Nine of Cups is about personal satisfaction and being happy, getting what you want. There are no other people in the Nine of Cups. So it looks like you probably have a good support system with the Ten of Cups showing up there. But the Nine of Cups in this situation is saying, yeah, but what do you want? Are you getting what you want? This combination is self-love. And then when I see that with Kairos, this is asking you to very much focus on self-love. So how can you move forward? The answer is very simple. It's self-love. There are lots of different ways that you can love yourself. One of those ways, to use the example of the writing the novel, is to just start writing that novel. Even if you think no one's ever going to see it, even if you think you're never going to share it, it doesn't matter. Do it for you. So if you're starting a business, if you're starting a platform, if you're wanting so desperately to get into a new love relationship, but you find yourself being stuck because of whatever happened in the past, whoever this devil energy was for you, this starts with loving yourself. Pour as much love into yourself as you possibly can. Open your heart chakra and give it to yourself. So let's look at who can help you in this situation. Wow. If this is a love interest for you, there is certainly someone around you who wants to love you. That may be why you're at this reading, because you want to love a new person, but you're finding yourself stuck. And there's passion and there's the bridge. Wow. I think for many of you, this is going to be a love situation where you're holding yourself back from new love because you don't want to be hurt again. This seems very clear. There is a person here that has a lot of love for you. This person is bringing you their heart. There's a ton of passion here because passion showed up. And then we have the bridge. This is the energy that if you just allow this person in, and I can see, look at how there's like these rainbow colors here, and there's a rainbow here. You have already started integrating parts of yourself. You have already cleansed yourself. You've already started a great deal of the healing. So this is just saying, with a little self-love, you can bridge this gap between you and this person. See, there's still a huge gap between your hands. You and this person who wants to be in a love relationship with you, you're healing and coming together with this self-awareness and bringing your shadow aspects out, all of that, loving yourself, focusing on you and what do you want, you getting what you want. That's the thing that's going to bridge the gap between you and this person who looks like they very confidently and passionately and lovingly want to be in your energy and in your life. So let's see, how can you help others? So there's the King of Swords, love, and the Ring. I think that you have a lot that you can teach the world, teach other people. I think your experience has made you very wise with this King of Swords. So whatever happened to you in the past, whatever lessons you learned, whatever ex relationships you have, that has been a key component to teaching you how to love with the love card and how to commit with the Ring card. And to not commit or love anyone who doesn't deserve that. That there's a certain amount of analysis that must go into these relationships before you just jump in. And I think that once you do fully heal and do all of your full integrations and accept new love and bridge this gap and complete your healing, I think that's a really important thing that you're meant to put out in the world. I think that's the thing that your shadow side might want to tell you, that you're meant to be a teacher, you're meant to be a healer, you're meant to really transform this idea of love and teaching people about the relationships that they're already in, that they may not even realize are not good for them or unhealthy. Even if you've been married for 50 years, you could be in an extremely toxic relationship. You could be. But it looks like that's your job, is to help people evaluate with the King of Swords, really evaluate love and commitments and how we look at love and why we're meant to be here and how we're meant to transform our heart chakras and help people to be and have that highest human experience that we possibly can while we're here. So then finally, let's look at what your future looks like. Wow, look at that. 3 of Cups. Peace and the animal. This is finally allowing your nervous system to be at peace. And this is your future. This is you allowing people into your heart space, allowing people to come together, allowing love into your life, because that is the thing that's going to bring you that peace. And this animal is really representing to me your physical body, your lower chakras, your central nervous system. This is, if you think about love right now, it feels like the energy that you're in when you think of love is an energy where it makes your heart race and you get upset and you get nervous and you just say, you avoid it. You shove this person aside who wants to come into your life because you're saying, I don't want to do this again. It's too painful. Well, your future is saying that's being completely transformed. I can see you at peace and loving other people. I can see your heart chakra opening with that 3 of Cups. That is an expansion of love, is exactly what the 3 of Cups is. So I do feel like there's new beginnings around the corner. You're liberating yourself, but with self-love and bridging this gap between your heart chakra and someone else's. This is a rebirth, a transition. And this is an ending to you feeling like there's chaos or fear surrounding your heart chakra. And I think that you got there because you used your self-love. You're using your intuition. You're using your intellect with the King of Swords. And this Knight of Cups, I think, is just really this person who really wants to compliment you and come into union with you. And I see it all coming, but it starts with you allowing the shadow side out and self-love. If you let the shadow side out and say, you know what, I was told not to speak up, but I am going to speak up with this King of Swords. King of Swords is an excellent communicator, and say, you know what, I do deserve love, and I want to speak up to this person and tell them how much I want to be loved. I'm just scared of how they might hurt me. Pour that self-love into yourself and watch the transformation and the magic happen. There is a person coming in here. You're going to bridge the gap with your own self-love, and you're finally going to be at peace with love because you found someone that you can fully trust with your heart. So there you go. That is your reading. If you feel like your past is holding you back, will you please let me know how this was resonant for you? Consider subscribing to the channel if you like my vibe, and we will do this again sometime. Thanks, everybody. Bye.